What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of TMP, and today's guest is no other than the boogeyman, Mr. Blessing Awodibu. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
I did.
I think you're probably one of the first ones to get that right.
Yes, I was. Me and my producer, we were going back and forth, throwing Awodibu at us to see who gets it right. So I guess we made it right. What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm good, bro. Just trying to relax and get my body back.
Get your body back to what? Back to hydration and back to full mode status.
Back to where it should be.
Got you.
Before we go to work.
Yeah, we'll talk about your body in a second. I just want to get back just a little bit because I saw another interview with you. I'm not sure where it was. I think it was, I don't know. Was it maybe been Monday Night Muscle? I'm not sure. And you originally from Nigeria, correct?
Yes, sir. I was born in Nigeria.
But then somehow you managed to go to Ireland. And I don't know, I'm not sure if this is what I heard, but somebody said they smuggled me or something. You made some funny joke about it.
Damn right. I was smuggled to Ireland.
Is it true, though? Is it a true story?
Yeah, that's a true story, bro.
So how old were you when you left Nigeria?
I was 9.
Oh, okay. 9. So you're still a little kid.
Yeah.
So do you remember Nigeria? Do you remember everything that was going on in Nigeria?
I don't know. I still have a little memory. Yes, I definitely have a little memory.
So do you speak the language? Do you speak the language?
Yeah, but I think I lost a little bit of it, but I still do.
Yeah.
Because there's so many languages in Nigeria, but English is the main one.
Oh.
So my family are from the Yoruba tribe.
Okay.
So we speak Yoruba.
Okay, so I don't know the different language, but all I know is I met a guy. I think he was from Nigeria. I'm not sure. He could be somewhere else, but he was from Africa. And I remember it was so funny. I met him in Dubai. He was a trainer in the gym in Dubai. It's many years ago. And I was like, "Hey man, what's up, man? What's your name?" I can't remember what his name was, but he said his name and he said, "My name is so and so."
Oh, that's South African, bro. That's not Nigerian.
What is it?
The South African have the click.
Yeah, he was saying my name is so-and-so. I said, I thought he had a speech impairment first.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I said, what's your name? And he repeated it again. I was like, okay, what's that? He said, no, we make that sound. That's how we talk. I was like, all right, cool, man. Take it. Yeah, that was, I know, I don't want to.
Funny when you do it.
I don't want to make it fun out of it, but it's so fucking funny, man.
Yeah, that's South African.
So you left. This is the funny thing is they took you to Ireland. How much more opposite of Nigeria can it be than Ireland? So you grew up in Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, you already stood out in Ireland because I don't think there's too many blacks in Ireland.
Nah.
So, but I remember watching you I called you Mr. Funny Man. Before I knew who you were,
everybody call me. They call me the clown dude.
No, I never said clown. I said guy. Funny man because I said this dude has some funny shit out there. I don't know. Did you just make these ideas up, or that's just who you are?
That's who I am, man. I'm a positive guy, and I love making people laugh. I love doing, funny shit.
Yeah, you want to know?
You might call it funny, but that's just me. I love being me. You know what I'm saying? Right. And being a bodybuilder and growing up in Ireland, there's no IFBB pro in Ireland. I'm probably like the first ever IFBB open bodybuilder from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to make your way, trying to be seen from Ireland, that's hard.
Oh, you made it. You made it happen. You made it happen.
Yes, and the fact that we have social media, and I just love being me, and I think it's a way for me to kind of market myself and get myself seen, and just be seen. And
so, who comes up with the ideas though? You come up with them yourself, or you have someone helping you?
It's just mainly me. It's like none of it was like I never really think about all this stuff. I just do them.
One of my favorite ones I always remember, and I always laugh when I think about it, is you in the car. You said, "Touch it, touch it."
To this day, people are still calling me "Touch It."
Yeah, I don't know, Nick. Do you guys remember that video? He's in the car, he's flexing his biceps, and he's telling his girls to touch it, touch it. Oh man, that shit was so funny. So listen, growing up in Ireland, starting bodybuilding in Ireland, like you said, there was no real pros up there, so you probably just got your inspiration from looking at magazines or on social media, looking at guys, from all around the world. So what inspired you to say, listen, I want to start bodybuilding? Is that the first sport you started, or did you play soccer over there in Ireland?
I mean, for me, it was a little bit different, coming from where I came from. Like, I didn't come from like a wealthy family. My father's a farmer, and and I think I grew up I didn't grow up in the city in Nigeria. I grew up in in the village. You know what I'm saying? So my mother giving us to a random stranger, find a way to get us to Ireland is just
to give you a better life.
Better life. Yeah. So, we can actually go out there, survive and make something of ourselves. And maybe one day we can come home and, better their life.
Right. So for me, so your parents never went with you. So they gave you to someone to take you to Ireland.
Fake name, fake passport.
Wow.
Fake everything. We were 9, no English, no nothing. You know what I mean? So when we got to Ireland, the strangers just literally dropped us at the immigration door, and she was like, "Go survive."
So the stranger that got you guys to go. So your parents had to pay for this, or did they get paid?
Oh yeah. You had to pay.
So were you had any siblings? Did you go by yourself, or did?
Yeah. So then, my oldest brother was living in Ireland back then.
Oh, he was already there.
Yeah. So we had to when we got to Ireland, we had to sort of locate our brother. So he became our legal guardian. So we I sort of grew up with him. And my goal from day one is always to to be great, to do something so I can help my family, I can help my parents.
Right.
So when college didn't work out, because back then we couldn't go to college because we didn't have the citizenship. So we have to government couldn't help, so we have to pay our own way to college, which was impossible for us. So that's when I actually turned into, because I've always been into working out. Because I was very skinny when I growing up in Ireland, and all these kids used to make fun of me, hungry African kids, this type of stuff, So that's what actually got me into, lifting weight, and of course, there's a lot of troubles, and the part of time that we were living in Ireland, we were the only black family out there. So growing up there was rough. So there are a lot of things, bullying and all that.
Did you have to deal with any racism over there?
Oh yeah,
really?
Even, back then we wouldn't see as racism because moving from where we grew up at and then going to Ireland, it's we're seeing as such an opportunity.
Yeah.
We've never seen people live like that before. We didn't even believe it's possible to actually live like that.
Coming from a
hate that we maybe get was that.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So whatever hate, in Africa, we had no electricity, there's no fridge, there's none of that, the part that we grew up at. So moving into that new environment in Ireland, and so whatever hate that we may be getting from school, we don't see as anything. We sort of accept it. We were just so happy for this opportunity and to be able to grow up in this, this new environment. So we went through all of that, but for us, it wasn't really nothing because where we came from, we've been through too much.
Right.
You can't even compare it. So whatever you want to give it to us, you can say it.
Funny.
We have to go through all that.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because William Bonac has had a similar story of coming from Africa here. But yeah, that's awesome. So how long did it take? How long was the process from you, if they dropping you off at immigration, for you to being in a home where now all of a sudden you got to go to school, and how long did that take?
It wasn't long till they was able to locate my brother, our oldest brother, so he was able to take us in. He became our legal guardian, and they were able to we were able to set us up so we can go to school and do all that stuff. So it wasn't too long at all. We were lucky for the fact that we had a brother in Ireland back then. So that was pretty cool, and. Yeah, man. So what got me to
any other sports before?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of rugby is very big in Ireland, so I played rugby when I was growing up, and Irish football as well. We call it Gaelic back in Ireland. I play hurling. That's another Irish sport, and a little bit of basketball. I did everything, even soccer as well. And I did kickboxing for actually a couple of years until I discovered bodybuilding.
Oh, okay. So bodybuilding, was that because they used to bully you and you thought you got to get bigger because you were skinny?
Oh, yeah. I had to get stronger so I can defend myself in school because we're getting fights every day. My brother, it used to, like, my brother was changing school, like, constantly because of...
He got kicked out?
Yeah, getting kicked out and reacting to, like, comments and, whatnot. So I was a little quiet.
You were?
I was a little quiet, like, going up. Like, so I'll literally just... I wouldn't really react to a lot of things that, kids would be saying to me and stuff, but, like,
I'm surprised. You had that issue in Ireland, and you're much younger than I am, because when I grew up in Germany, as you probably know, and I can never say that there was any racism or never, because they just didn't know about that. For them, there was it doesn't exist. If there was racism, it was mostly towards other European countries, like, in the early beginning, I remember, like, maybe Turkey, these people used to come to Germany. But for us, there was nothing until, I remember, I was in high school, and all of a sudden, they played the series Roots. Remember Roots? Yeah, you're probably too young. So they played that series Roots, and it was so about slavery and, and chicken shorts and Kota Kinte. And that's when they realized, but they didn't know how bad it was. So for us, so the next day we get to school, and people start calling me, hey, Kota Kinte, chicken shorts. And that's when we started fighting, because we said, wait a minute, you don't say that. They didn't know that this is, when you say this to someone, because in the movie, that was all they said. They call the N-word, call them Kota Kinte, that was normal. So they thought they can do it too. So that's the only time where we realized that sometimes this is happening.
I mean, overall, like, the Irish people are super nice people. Like, we had a lot of friends. It was just only like a couple of kids, you're gonna get that.
Stupid people, yes, a couple of stupid people.
Yeah, you're gonna get that. But overall, the Irish people, they're super nice and extremely welcoming and stuff. And we've got a lot of friends out there. So even right now, like right now, it's not so bad, right? Because, like, there's so many like all kinds of race, emigrating to Ireland right now. There's a lot of black people right there right now, a lot of Polish, all kinds of different people. So, like, they welcome all kinds of races all kinds of race over there. So it's not so bad right now.
That's awesome. So how long did it take for you after you started training to realize, hey, wait a minute, I think I got something here?
I mean, not until, I was denied of going into college, because my friends always saying I got something, because as I said, I was very skinny. So, when I started training, I was putting on a lot of lean muscle mass, and I stayed lean. I never really diet, and my friends always like telling me to compete. And I was like, nah, I'm not into that. I don't think, because I didn't know nothing about bodybuilding. I just want to lift and be strong and, have a good shape. And so when I couldn't go to college, that's when, one of my friends forced me to compete, and I did my first show. And I remember I meet Tony Freeman, that it was guest post in Ireland back then. It was the first ever pro bodybuilder I ever met. So I remember talking to him, and he was like telling me, like, I have good potential to do it again. And I was 19, 20 years old. So, from there I went on and do another show, and I started winning shows. So that's when I realized that, okay, maybe I got something here. And when I won my first international show, Arnold Classic Junior, 2014, that's when I realized that, okay, maybe I think I can go pro. And then 3 years later, I was able to turn pro in Ireland.
Well,
in Europe.
Didn't you turn pro a couple of times?
Oh, yeah. 2017, I didn't want to take my pro card.
Why not?
I just want to keep competing. Because back then, it was when the talk about IFBB Europe and NPC was splitting out.
Oh, they split, yes.
Yeah, so the IFBB Europe put on all these shows throughout the year, and they want to keep up the athletes in Europe, so they start awarding money.
Oh, so you did you do the Elite first?
Yeah, Elite Pro, yeah. That was before the split.
Right.
And then they were trying to keep up the athletes in Europe, so they said, look, the more show you do, the more point you can earn, and you can get this amount of money at the end of the year. So when I kept winning, I just kept going until
But that was the reason for the split, right?
To be honest, I didn't really look into like the real reason, but I noticed a lot of,
The reason for the split was because, what's his name? Raphael. He started this Elite Pro. Well, listen, we affiliated. We were one IFBB. We were IFBB amateurs, and we were the IFBB pros, which is now the Pro League. And all of a sudden, he's trying to be sneaky and start a new Pro League on its own. And his reason was only to start this until it's good enough, and then he's going to separate himself from us. But, we wouldn't let that happen, And I remember they made him an ultimatum. I said, you stop, cancel that, or we going to leave.
Joe Weider's Olympia here in Orlando, Florida. A little bit strange coming out of Las Vegas for all of those years.
Good evening, and welcome to the event that nearly never happened.
There's been an absence of a particular group of people on this stage that are back tonight. Tonight I'm here to say, welcome back to Miss Olympia.
And that's exactly what happened. So we left him. Not he left the IFBB Pro League. The IFBB Pro League told him, peace out.
Yeah, that man is crazy because I remember he called up the Irish president and he's making sure that they tell me that I have to stay in the elite in Europe.
Yeah.
And if I don't, they're not going to allow me to continue competing. And I was like, I give them my word. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay.
He gave everybody a pro card because when that split happened at the Olympia, it was Wednesday, right? Either before or after the athletes meeting. There was a meeting with Raphael and Jim. And after that meeting, when Jim got up, said this is over, they didn't even make it to the Olympia the next day. They couldn't even get into the Olympia anymore. It was over. So that was a done deal right there. So they had the Arnold Classic a couple of weeks later and gave everybody in the top 15 a pro card. They needed to do, they needed to, get this pro league together. It's a whole big mess and it's a whole bunch of bullshit. Yeah. And I'm glad you were with the right federation.
Oh, yeah. When I left, I was burned at every show in Europe. Yeah. I could not go to the Arnold Classic Europe. I could not go to any other show. I remember I was in UK actually for one of the shows. I was making an appearance for my the sponsorship that I was with back then. They literally denied me at the door that I cannot go in. Why? Because I'm with the Pro League.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know what? You don't want to go in there if you're with the Pro League.
They were crazy back then.
Yeah, we have no business as supporting, because as soon as you walk into any show, even if you just go as a guest, you will make that show better. As a bodybuilding star, we have no business. We're not supporting them. We're not going there to promote their federation. No, there's no way. No way. Yeah. You with the right people now, because the ultimate goal.
Because I got a dream.
Exactly.
My dream is to be one of the best. My dream is to compete at the Olympia and hopefully, win that show maybe once or twice. You never know.
How old are you now?
I'm 29, man.
You still a baby. You have, listen.
I feel like I'm getting old, though, thanks.
No, well, don't let the feeling fool you. Trust me, I can tell you that firsthand. No, listen, you young. I just was it last week? When did we talk to Nick? I think it was last week. And I told Nick, I said, listen, you guys have so much time. I told him, Nick, Hunter, Ian, you guys are the future of this sport. I can already see that. Because when listen, you're 29, you're already a pro. You already compete as a pro. I wasn't even pro. Matter of fact, I started lifting weights 3 years before when I was 26. So I turned pro at 32. Trust me, you have so much time. That's why I want to get to the first pro shows now. First, I don't need to ask you why you waited so long, because I guess you wanted to be ready. Okay.
Yes.
So now,
100%.
Looking back at the two shows you did, the Indy Pro was the first one. Before we talk about the show, you're creating that hype. People call it big mouth. People call it talking a lot of shit. Let's call it whatever it is. Was that strategy, or did you really believe you're going to come in and you're just going to crush the show? Or was it more strategy? That's all. That's what I wanted to ask you from day one.
To be honest, I wasn't talking shit because I was talking shit. I really believe I could really crush the show.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
If I nail my, I believe I've got what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
If I nail and we have picked right, we will be battling. Mm-hmm. For that top 2, top 3 at every show.
Mm-hmm.
But this things happens, still learning, still early in my career. So
trust me,
we mix a couple of amateur mistakes. That is understandable. Every pro been there, and a lot of pros.
Every single pro, trust me included. I can tell you firsthand. I thought when I won the USAs back in '98, I thought I'm going straight to the Night of Champions back then, 1999. I'm going there for the win. I got 14th. I got my ass whooped about 3 times that day. So listen, that's nothing but something to learn from.
100%.
And you'll probably hate it more than anybody when you see yourself not coming up short. So here's a thought that I want from you. Do an Indy Pro. You got third. You made up ground on Saturday, or at the finals, and then now you're going to New York. What was the mindset like though? Because you know what you were saying. Now you see the videos and pictures from the Indy Pro. What's your mindset now? Say, we got 1 week. What can I do? Can we get it done, or do I just have to act like I'm still okay? What was your true mindset?
I mean, after Indy Pro, especially, after the pre-judging, then coming back in the evening and making that, because literally at the pre-judging, I think I was about fifth. Yeah. Fifth, you know what I mean? So, and then coming back for the evening show, and then after a couple of meals and after burgers here and there, I was able to fill out a little bit, improve the shape, bring it a little bit more fuller, especially on the upper body, but the legs were still lacking, So we were able to improve the placing. So after that, and I saw the judges, I saw the official expression. They were impressed for what I was able to bring within 3-4 hours. You know what I mean? So after that show, I really believe okay, we know what to do, and we just got to fill me out. And of course, I was working with still working with Chad, throughout the prep. And he said, okay, look, this is what we got to do. You were too flat at the Indy show. So now we're just going to load you up. We're not going to worry about the water retention because, we got a plan in place to take care of that. And so that's what we did. And I really believe, I will look better at the New York Pro, but, I actually ended up looking worse.
What do you think happened, though? What do you think went wrong?
I think, it was too much too fast, with the food, and we just didn't have enough time to, bring my body back to where it should be in terms of fullness. Mm-hmm. First, I think I was over-dieted, and I was just way too depleted, too flat to bring back, that look. If I was looking at the picture, I didn't look healthy, Mm-hmm. My body looked tired, my face looked tired. I didn't look right for Indy. And then going into New York, I was just full of water and bloated, mm-hmm. And that's the worst I looked throughout my whole entire prep. Let's say from how long, 6 weeks out.
How long did you prepare for both shows? Did you take it was a long preparation? Was it a long one?
I think it was about 20 weeks prep.
So 20 weeks on a contest diet?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that's too long. Maybe your body was just, maybe your body would have been better if it was maybe 12 weeks.
It's about 20 weeks. And I went from, because I was weighing in at, my highest weight was I was waking up 295, 96, and then we depleted down to 243, mm-hmm. Yeah. Which for me, I think it was a lot,
You mean you lost too much weight?
Yeah, maybe I might have sacrificed a little bit of muscle here and there. I'm not sure, but mm-hmm. I was way too depleted.
But I'll give you an example now. Okay, because you just sound similar to my case. And that was when I was working with Chad. So it's not necessary, because you guys, that was the first 2 shows you guys did together. Yeah, give him another shot, and you'll see the difference. Because you'll learn. You don't know how somebody responds. Because I remember I was big in off season too. I was 300 up to 308 pounds, but around 300 was normal for me in off season. And at my very best on stage, I was 242. It's not the weight that matters, because if you get it right, and you carb up the right way, and you stay full, I don't care if you drop a few more pounds, as long as you stay full. If you stay full and round, because you have that same. If you are impressive when you're full and round. When you start losing that roundness, then the body goes to shits. I don't care how much you weigh. You could weigh 10 pounds more. You still look like garbage because you don't have that pop. So just make sure you go for the pop. And I'm sure next time it will be 10 times better.
Yeah, that's why, looking back, I had these zero regrets. Like, to be honest, like I was actually, because I know what I can do, and the audience and the fans, they didn't really get to see, the full potential, which is, it's okay. Because I know every pro have been through it, they've made all this mistake, and that's normal. We're talking about human body here, So picking, especially being off stage for like almost 4 years and then coming back, you don't expect to get it right the first time, and it was a little bit intense for me because the way I carried myself into the show.
Do you regret anything?
Oh, zero. If I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do exactly the same shit.
So you're gonna keep talking.
What I did worked. Everything worked. The whole hype thing, I was happy that, Nick was able to engage in that, and we followed through, and it paid off.
But you don't sit back and say, maybe I should have said a little less, because there's a lot of fans that think,
I wish I said more.
Really?
I know, to be honest, that's what I'm saying, when I'm talking about, changing bodybuilding and, bringing something new to the table. Because I feel like bodybuilding nowadays, but
Blessing, I get the idea. But the idea works only if you back up what you say.
Yes, I know.
So at this point, you said it all.
Yeah.
You didn't quite back it up, which is not.
No, I did not.
They forgive you. They forgive you because they know that was your first 2 shows.
Yeah.
But my advice would be, in the future, you probably never stop talking, but you do you. Absolutely do you. Just this time, maybe let the body do more talking than the mouth. And then, once you do that, then you're back to do whatever you want to do. You got to get there.
Yes, I know.
Because at 29, you have so much time.
I know now, I really have to prove myself, in any show that I'm going into right now, I have to destroy that show. I have to destroy that show. Because I know, the fans appreciate what I'm bringing, and I met Jacoud at the after the show, and he shook my hand and he said, "Thank you for what you're trying to do in the sport." And I feel like bodybuilding into it, the fans loved it, even though I was getting a lot of backlash and all kinds of hate, but they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the excitement. They enjoyed looking forward to a show, and they were excited to buy the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? And probably we have the highest pay-per-view for New York and Indy. It's just the fact that I wasn't able to.
I don't think there was a pay-per-view before, so that would be the first one.
I was just a little bit disappointed. I wasn't able to back up a lot of things because I believe I have what it takes. But
absolutely,
things happens. And
you absolutely have what it takes.
And we can only get better from here. What will not happen again is making the same mistake, because right now I see it clearly what happened. Even the fans, they can look at my body and it was looking real good like 3 weeks out. What happened? And I was, it's a common mistake that everybody makes. So I regret nothing. I'm super excited for the future.
Right. So what are the changes you're going to make? What do you see now that you need to change definitely for next time you step on stage? What are the changes?
Right now, I know exactly what I got to do. First of all, I know I need more muscle mass all around, at least 15 pounds, but I feel like I can put on 20 pounds, with the sort of mindset that I have now, when you're coming from an amateur to a pro league, stepping on a pro for the first time, you don't know what you're going to get, seeing pictures and this, none of that. You have to step on stage and experience it, that's money can't buy that. That experience is absolutely everything for me. That's all I've needed to see. Now I know what I got to do. I need my muscle here, and I know exactly what to do. And I believe in my work ethic that I will make it happen. But right now, my perspective, everything changes.
But what do you think you have to change in order to get that done, in order to make the improvements? What do you think you're changing from what you did for the last shows to the next show you're doing? Do you have anything in mind that you want to change the way you,
I mean,
the way you eat.
I'm thinking about, and
we'll talk about it. Come on, we'll talk about it. Hey, there's no secrets in bodybuilding.
Listen, having the right people, in your corner is extremely important. You know what I mean? So, I've got what it takes. I believe in my work ethic, and once everything else around it is right, we can't go wrong.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because you said having the right people in your corner. I think you travel with a couple of guys. One thing stood out to me. And this is not a knock on people, so please understand. This is constructive criticism. I believe in being honest, and I believe in keeping it real. And one small sequence of footage that I saw with you, and that was in your prep to, I don't know, was it Indy Pro or was it for the New York Pro? I don't know, was it before prejudging or in between? You pulled your pants down, and you asked one of the guys that was with you, I don't know which one it was because the camera was on you, and you said, do my legs look small? And this guy said, no, absolutely not. Like, no. Don't you think you would have been better if somebody said, tell you the truth, that they do look a little bit small when you ask? Because you know why you asked that question.
I know it's not there. And,
when someone asks the question,
it is too late.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. That's why I don't understand the question, because you probably the most experienced guy in this room, so you don't need to ask. You can look at the mirror and know yourself. But you ask the person, and this is me. I'm a guy. Well, when I ask somebody and somebody would say, they could be fuller. You don't have to say they look small. They could look a little fuller. Be honest, but not saying like yes.
True.
So I thought maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe in the past weeks and months of your preparation, these guys are all around you and they just blowing smoke up your ass. Maybe that's what there was some reason. I said maybe that's why he was so super confident, because he didn't really have someone give him the truth. Maybe that was just my understanding. So I could be wrong.
Honestly speaking, that's not the case. Like, actually, my guys, they're extremely hard on me. You know what I'm saying? And me talking all that, it's not because I actually hate when people are like giving me. I swear to God, that's just me. I hate when people like. I've been telling my guys, no, don't tell me. Even right now, I said after the show, I just told them like, look, listen. Anytime we're training, I want you to remind me of the second call out. Do you want to be staring at glutes again?
Yeah.
No. And my circle now, I am extremely true to myself, and the people around me, they are super true to me as well. And me talking all that is just because I believe so much in myself and what I can do.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I just gave you the way I saw it.
But you're 100% right, though.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it, because I was always, because I always tell people, don't ask me unless you really want to know. I mean, I will tell you look great when you look great, and I will tell you you don't look great if you don't look great. So, I always hope for guys to have the right people around them that would tell them when they don't look great. You know what I tell guys when they ask me for advice? Who should I ask? When I should ask someone what I look like, who should I ask? You know what I said? Ask your girlfriend or your wife. Because they're with you all the time. They see you when you 100%. Wake up. They see you when you wake up in the morning. They see when you walk to the bathroom. They see what you don't see. And I always ask them. And if they're not afraid of you or your reaction, then they'll tell you the truth. And that's who you can believe.
100%.
So you still didn't tell me what the plan is. The plan before you step on stage.
The plan is to grow, Dennis.
Okay, I know you want to grow, but what changes are you making when you change your diet? You're going to eat more, or what do you have to do in order to get to that point?
Definitely right now, especially when it comes to like, my training. Now I actually have a whole training that I wrote up myself. And I said, we were talking and I said, I'm going to come. And there's a lot of things I really want to ask you, like a lot of things I want to discuss with you. And maybe we cannot talk about everything right here on this interview. But a lot of things
we can if you want to, but it's up to you.
There's a lot of things I want to discuss with you, and because I'm still young in the sport, and
very young. Yes.
That was my pro debut, and I need as much people with experience around me as possible, because I wanna ask questions. I want to make sure I don't make the same mistake again. And I want to be better.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
You know, so I got a lot of questions to ask and, you know, moving forward from here. But in terms of training, my whole training plan, I've changed it together. I've put a new plan together. And yeah, man, there's a whole lot of things that, you know, needs to be.
How did you train? How did you train for this show? I saw a couple of videos with you and Kai Greene training. Were you guys training partners or just for some videos?
Yeah, we were training partners from like maybe 6 weeks, maybe 4 weeks out.
Okay, so
that's when Kai moved down to Boca Raton, and we've been training together.
So isn't Kai one of them high rep guys? You know, hours and hours and hours of workouts.
Kai loved the light workout and a lot of reps.
Yeah.
You know, Kai workout's not easy.
So were you doing the same thing? Were you doing light work and a lot of reps?
Yeah, definitely. The weight was a lot more lighter.
Then I know what your new workouts will look like, because that didn't work for you.
What's that?
I said, then I know what your new training's going to look like, because that didn't work for you. You don't do light work.
Nah, that's what I said as well. You know, we went real light, because Kai is into, you know, just visualizing yourself on stage while you're working out. You know, contracting every muscle and getting this, you know, with that, you can't go too heavy. You know, and one of the mistakes that I made, you know, with my training is like I went too light.
Yeah.
You know, so that didn't help keeping the fullness and the roundness, especially on my legs. Yeah. You know, for a guy who has a lot of muscle, big dudes.
Different story.
That works for them.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, what works for you might not work for me. So you have to find out. And in your case, your legs is not bad, okay, when they're full. But you also know that your legs is, when we look at body parts, then I would say your legs were probably a little bit undersized compared to the upper body. But if you go flat, legs will go flat even more.
Yes.
You know? So yes, and I always tell people, when you train for off season or you train for a show, the training shouldn't be different. It's the same damn training.
It should be, yeah.
Why would people change their workout? What works for you in off season will also work for you, and you stay as strong as you possibly can.
Yeah.
You lift the same weights. At the end of the day, the only thing we change is we drop some carbs and we add some cardio.
Yeah.
You know, and I promise you'll stick to your regular, you know, heavy workouts. You will see the fullness staying in your body. It stays.
That's the first thing I was saying to myself. Like, you know, if I had, like, you know, kept that, you know, that heavy weight all the way through, my body will be able to try and, you know, of course, keep that fullness, especially on my legs and stuff. And as well, what also killed my legs was, like, I think I did too much in a Stepmaster. You know, that did not help my leg either.
How much did you do?
So, what's that?
How much did you do? How much cardio?
I think we were, you know, cardio wasn't actually crazy, but maybe I didn't eat that much. We were doing like, we started off 3 days a week of, I think we started off 30 minutes 3 days a week, and then we bump it up to 45 minutes 3 days a week, and then from there we bump it up to an hour 3 days a week.
That's nothing.
Yeah, I know it's not.
That's not. No, don't blame the cardio then. That's not going to take your legs away. No, but shit, I know people that do 2 hours every day. That's not going to take your legs. You just listen. You young. You know, you have all the time in the world to make. Now, the good thing is sometimes when you get to that point, because now you know what not to do, you know? And I always tell people the formula is, how do I find my formula? You got to find out what not to do, you know? And you're on the right track. If you look at your system, if you look at your body, who would you compare yourself to? Or what physique from back in the days or maybe current physique do you look up to the most?
I mean, you know, if everything was right, definitely, like, say in the off season, I would be like, I get compared to what's this guy's name again? Another Nigerian bodybuilder.
Lionel Bayeki?
No. Back in the days.
Nigerian? Back in the days? Let me think. But how far back?
He never competed.
Oh, Victor Richards. Yes.
Big, Victor, you know, and then
Victor Richards had some quads on him like no one.
Yeah, no, I just need that thickness on my quads, you know. Flex Wheeler. I can see myself looking like Flex Wheeler, a little bit of Flex, a little bit of Lee Haney, Edgar Fletcher, all that type, you know?
You remember Edgar Fletcher?
Oh, yeah,
Most people don't remember him.
I love his physique.
Edgar was the best athlete to never turn pro.
He never turned pro. Actually, didn't know they
never turned pro. Think about it. That's how hard it was back in the days.
Yeah.
He never got his pro card.
Wow.
It's crazy, huh? Unbelievable physique.
Of a front double biceps.
Unbelievable. Vacuum.
Yeah, vacuum. Yeah. I loved it.
Nice flat high top.
Yes, I love his physique. He is.
Yeah. So you compare yourself to these guys, and listen. I think you know what you got to do. You got to put the work in. Got to go back to the drawing board. Fucking pull the hoodie over the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just go deep.
And work.
So where do you see yourself in the next 4 to 5 years?
In what?
Where do you see yourself in the next 4 to 5 years in this sport of bodybuilding?
I mean, I see myself in that Olympia stage, battling in their top 3, top 5. Mm-hmm. If I keep my head down and keep working the way I've been doing and keep making progress like this and making sure, I don't be making dumb mistakes.
Top 3, top 5. That doesn't sound like blessing right now.
I'm telling you, that's how much I believe in myself.
I know, but that doesn't sound like you. I would expect you to say, I'm battling for the fucking title.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who battles for top 5? Come on now, champ. I was like, are you already backing off? Are you already softening up on me?
No. I'm just saying what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, my honest opinion, and this is what I told Nick. I see Nick, definitely Nick, you, Hunter, Ian, and maybe Justin, you guys, and I don't know how old some of the other guys are. You guys are the future. Because at this time right now, you guys are going to take over the older generation when they move away. And until then, some of you guys might have to just kick some of the older guys out. It's eventually going to happen, you know what I mean? You just got to stay consistent. And, I don't see why you shouldn't be confident enough to say, hey, listen, I have the tools. I know what I got to do. I'm coming to win the Olympia. And nobody can be better.
That's my goal. That's my dream.
Hell yeah. What would that be like, winning the Olympia to be the first Nigerian? Are you Irish now? You have an Irish passport?
Oh, yeah, I got Irish. I fly man.
Would you take the Sandow back to Nigeria to present it?
I'll take it back to Ireland. I'll take it to Nigeria. Look, listen, I believe these things will happen in due time, and I've got a big plan. Yeah. I've got big plans.
Yeah, don't listen.
And I'm going to do different.
Yeah. My advice to you is don't rush it. You have time. Don't rush it. You know what to do. Make a solid game plan. And just go to work. And the next time you step on stage.
And that's why I'm taking all this time off, because a year, 2 years ago, people like, yo, just compete. You gotta compete.
Yeah.
But I'm always true to myself. I'm always being real to myself. I'm not ready yet. I don't want to just step on that stage. I want to step on that stage and dominate. And before you do that, you have to, you gotta learn. You gotta pay your dues. Yeah, and that's just what happened in the past 2 weeks ago. All the shows.
Yeah, but B, you got to understand, because you say I want to dominate. It's going to be hard to dominate on this level, It's going to be hard to win, but to be dominant, that's going to be so hard because these guys are good, man. This is not. This is. You saw the difference when you walk backstage. There's a different level. It's not like in the amateurs where you see 20 guys that look like garbage, but there's a difference from the Indy Pro to New York Pro because I got to say. The shows were not really stacked, okay? They were not really stacked. So if you go backstage at the Olympia, that's a different ball game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to dominate, it's hard. But to win, I don't care. I fight, what boxer dominates, never gets hit, and just knocks people out. So it's not that easy anymore. I would rather say, listen, I'm coming for the Olympia, and, I want to dominate. It doesn't matter. I want to win. I don't care if I dominate. If I win, that means I'm the best, and as long as I'm the best, I'm cool. You know what I mean? So Nick Walker was basically the guy that you and the whole world were talking about, Nick.
We're going to do it again.
I know. Listen, and you guys, I thought you guys, Nick said you're a cool dude, man. He didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, but listen, I want to ask you, give me your opinion about Nick. What did you see? Did you think he was going to be that good? And did you, and where do you see him placing at this year's Olympia?
Honestly, going into that show, I didn't think Nick was gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. But he showed up, and dude, he cleaned up, man. He destroyed the show, his hard work pays out for him, and that man works. He really worked. And going into the Olympia, man, I really have a high hope for him, man. I think, I don't know, man. I think it's going to shock a lot of these older guys. I think it's going to be a lot of dudes.
Let's break it down. Nick Walker, let's say he looks like he did at the New York Pro. Okay?
I think it's going to look better.
Okay, but we don't know that yet. So let's just see the best Nick we've seen was the New York Pro. And let's say he shows up just the same at the Olympia. Where do you see him placing? How high what do you think? How high can he get?
I mean, if we base it on the Olympia last year.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to show up this year.
Well,
based on the Olympia last year,
I can tell you.
This man will be placed in top 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Top 6.
So now, if we look at the top 6 from last year, take Phil out of the equation. Phil is not competing. Okay. So let's say we have the top 6 would be from Rami, Brandon, Hadi, William, and Akeem. That would have been the top, and Ian, but yeah, because he was 7th. Let's take Phil out. So those are the top 6. Who can he beat out of the names I just mentioned? I just want to really hear what you think.
Nick will destroy Ian Valera.
Okay, do you believe that?
Oh yeah, easy, 100%, all day long.
Okay, so he's the 6th.
And him and Akeem, it's gonna come down to conditioning. If Akeem coming clean, I mean, Akeem hasn't been really. Yeah, he's been consistent in the last maybe 2 years, but he's not a guy that's always consistent. But he's getting it right.
I hear you.
When Akeem gets it right, he's the man. But both of them coming super clean. It's gonna be tough.
Compare. Let's look at the height. Compare Nick with William and Hadi. They all have similar height. What do you think?
Oh, Nick with William? I mean, I don't think. William is just when it comes to symmetry and balance and all that. William is, and the quality of the muscle and separation. William is hard to touch. William will have a better, prettier physique than Nick. And
what about Hadi?
Hadi?
Well, Hadi beats William.
I know. I did beat William.
Oh, he did beat him. He did beat him, but he didn't beat him the year before.
It's tricky. You got to see them side by side. Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard. You got to see them side by side, man.
Yeah, I think so too. But
Nick in the middle with Bonak on the other side and Hadi on the other side. That's going to be interesting.
I think Nick is gonna benefit from having 2 shorter guys in the top 6, because I think that's why he's very comparable, and of course the motivation from him now got to be, way up here. I mean, how much more motivation can you? Yes. So and he's very confident, and I think I asked him the question. I said, when do you see yourself winning the Olympia? It has 2022. He said this year he doesn't think he can beat Rami. That's his words. So I mean, and he didn't say it in an arrogant way. He just that's what I think and that's what I work for. Yeah. And I like that. I like it. He thinks that and he's working for it. So he says he can't beat Rami this year, but in 2022 he thinks he can win the Olympia. And listen, if he does the same thing he did from Chicago to New York, if he does that again from this Olympia to next year.
Yeah, he's a threat.
And check this out. How many
Boogeyman is coming though.
I know, but check this out. Because he says he can't beat Rami. Everybody in the top 6 beat Rami before. When Rami's not on. Yeah. When Rami's not on. For real. There's 6, 7, 8 guys that can beat him if he's not on. Size is not everything. Yeah. Okay. All right. So my last question for you before I let you go, because I know you're probably hungry. No, you're probably ready to eat. Give me your top 6 this year? Just from what you know now.
Who's competing? Okay, of course, Rami. Then Brandon Curry. Adi Chupan, Williams. So that's 4. Nate Diaz is in there as well, right?
He needs to qualify first.
Oh, he needs to qualify. Shit, it's not qualified yet.
Rolly needs to qualify too.
Rolling to qualify. Oh, man, it's going to be hard.
You got Akeem.
Well, if Rolly qualified.
Akeem needs to qualify.
Yeah.
Ian needs to qualify. Hunter needs to qualify. Sergio Oliva needs to qualify. There's a lot of guys that still need to qualify.
Yeah, there's a lot of great guys. A lot of great guys to qualify.
The fun thing is these guys.
It's going to be stacked.
These guys wait for the Chicago Pro. So there's going to be one qualification going out at the Chicago Pro in 7 weeks or 6 weeks. So then after that, there's one show left.
One more. Oh, shit. They might have to be going on points.
Yeah, but hey, there's only one show left after that. I think Tampa is the last show before the
rest will be going on points.
Yeah, but how can you get points if you compete in Chicago?
If you don't compete, no shows. Yeah, so they got to win, right? So I know, man, but that's my top 4. You know, throw Nick there. Nick, I think it's going to be top 6.
Yeah, I believe so too. I really do. I really believe. I think Nick will be battling with depending on. Listen.
Yeah.
I wish I could say what I want to say right now. But
careful now. People will be mad at you.
No. They wouldn't be mad at me. It's just yeah. I think
these people can't take critics.
No,
they all cry.
No. I usually say whatever I want, but this is a different story. So now, who do you see winning the Chicago Pro?
Okay, so Hunter is there.
Hunter,
Sergio's there too.
Sergio, Akeem, Joe Mackey.
Akeem maybe.
Yeah, he's the highest. He's the highest rank going into the show.
I think Akeem is gonna clean up that show. If comes in clean.
So Tampa will be stacked. Another one stacked in August. Oh wait, there's one more.
I should do that show next year.
There's one more in the Dominican Republic, in the Bermudas. I think it's between Bahamas, not Bermudas. This all sounds the same to me. Banana, Bahamas, Bermuda. The Puerto Rico Pro will be in the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there's another chance for people to qualify or collect some points.
A lot of these guys will be flying out there to compete.
Yeah. All right, brother, man. Thank you, man. Listen, I appreciate you making the time.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to great things from Blessing.
Yes.
Awodibu
so
in the next year. So listen, handle your business. Take it. Well, you're not going to stop these funny videos, though, are you?
Oh man, that's me. That's who I am.
Is that
can never change.
Is that your major income?
What?
Is that your major income?
I mean, it helps me grow my social media, and it brings fans, it brings all kinds of people to me. So when you're securing deals, it's all about how much followers you got.
There you go. Yeah. Well, listen, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. We're looking forward to you. I'm looking forward to welcoming you to Phoenix to have a good conversation with you. And listen, keep killing it, brother. You're still young. You have all the time in the world.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care, brother. Be safe.